Hello, welcome back to I Love Stuff. My name's Dan. Today I'm going to be making a soup, a creamy minestrone soup. I'm going to be making panini sandwiches. So let's get started. So, with all good soups, I gotta get some onions cut and going in here, celery, carrots, and potatoes for my minestrone soup. I'm also going to be adding some jalapenos. So you can buy like chicken broth, you can buy vegetable broth, but I kind of like to make my own. It smells good too. Or you can do both. You can do it this way and you can still do the other stuff. Some of these celery. Might add a little bit. I'm thinking I have some crazy ideas and things I want to try. But first what I need to do is get some butter in this pan. When you cook soup and whatnot, you want to cook the things that take longer. So things that take a lot longer are things like carrots, celery and whatnot. I like to cut my pieces of celery smaller, so I like to cut them like that first. It's kind of the smaller piece to begin with. I'm gonna rinse this over here. So I have this Dr. Prepare shower that I like to use to wash my produce in. Recommend buying one. That was like $60 approximately for a 5-gallon thing. It's electric, so it pressurizes itself and it stops on its own. So when you're out and about, you can wash your hands, wash your food and whatnot. So I've been giving these titanium cutting boards a definite try, but I have to say, I kind of prefer wood. And if they get too beat up, you know, people worry, oh, you know, you're gonna get things in there. Well, in that case, then just, I'm gonna put it on, let's put it on medium. In that case, you should just replace them. And I think I'm gonna be going to that more often. I want to give a shout out to everybody that have subscribed and liked videos of mine. I really appreciate you. If you haven't already, please consider doing it. It means the world to me. It's going to help me to do this longer, make cooler stuff. As I mentioned on the last video, if there's anything you want to see me try to make, let me know. Put it in the comments or hit me up on Instagram. Instagram, I can be found DG2, and that's DG2, easy. Or just put it on the comments here and I'll read it. I'll try to do a twist to whatever it is you're looking for. Now, since I'm doing the minestrone, I'm really doing the onions just really for flavor, not so much to have so much onions in there, but you still can. And this isn't really a traditional minestrone. I had something very similar a long time ago at a restaurant. I really liked it, so I'm basically trying to recreate it. And since then, the restaurant has since closed, which is sad. I used to go there after work and just buy a bucket of their soup and go home and eat it. It was comforting. Let's see, let's use this thing. Spread that around good. And these stoves really get hot fast. They do their job. Let's increase it. Slow heat. Now carrots are probably the longest, the longest things to cook next to potatoes. Now you don't want your potatoes in this particular version of my soup to be kind of falling apart, turning kind of starchy. You kind of want to keep them crisp. So I'm going to do those a little bit later in this, where normally if it was potatoes, I would do them a lot sooner. But I want the carrots to cook for sure. So I'm just gonna cut the ends off the carrots. I think I totally forgot to bring my peeler, so I'm gonna be doing this by hand. Good times. like with potatoes and stuff like that. Sometimes the skin makes a nice rustic flavor. I don't mind it. But I'm gonna do it this way, the more common way. It smells good. So this is a good old Memorial Day weekend. Hopefully everyone's having fun, barbecuing. Consider barbecuing, but I don't really have a barbecue, so I would have to figure out a way to do that. At home I have a smoker, and I love smoking things like tri-tip and whatnot. And I'm trying to find a way how I can bring that to the show and make that a part of it. Now, as y'all know, through most of my recipes, things I've done, I really love the flavor of pepper. So the only thing I could say differently, or what I would like to see differently with this soup versus the way that I would get it when I would go to that restaurant, is, man, if you could find a way to add some kind of pepper, like, you know, like peppers, like an Ortega chili as an example. An Ortega chili just tastes amazing. I recently learned that how to cook a chili and then how to get the skin to come off really easy, like paper. You don't necessarily want that. But like bell peppers, love bell peppers. You know, anything, I just love peppers. So currently I'm growing 2 jalapeno bushes and 1 habanero bush. So I'll be using a lot of peppers in a lot of my dishes. So obviously if you don't like spicy, you can remove that from my recipes if you are trying to recreate what I'm doing. For those that want to see, here's this. Whoop. Made my stove mad. It knows if the pot leaves the stove. It smells so good already. The other thing I'm gonna add is it's not like Popeye, is some sun-dried tomatoes. I'm gonna throw a couple in now, and then later on I'm gonna add some even more. I'm gonna chop these up. These are gonna be for flavor and for color, because I want the cream to kind of turn of a beautiful orange reddish color. You'll appreciate it when you see it. So I'm gonna do the potatoes next. I'm gonna cube these to about almost 1/4 inch squares. You know, things with potatoes, if you make them too small, they can fall apart. If you cook them too high, too long. So I'm having these go first, like this. It's time for a little bit more butter. A couple pieces of fresh chopped garlic. I love garlic. Hope you love garlic. If you don't love garlic, try to learn how to love garlic. Oh, summer's coming. You people that live in the South, woo, you are troopers. You are troopers. But you get bigger properties than we do. I'm gonna do these coarse because I don't want them to I love using garlic presses, don't get me wrong, but when you're making soups and stuff or you're sweating things, you don't want to sweat something that thin. It's not sweating, it's just burning. Unless you keep the heat low, then it will work. So if that's all you got, do what you can. I love the smell of garlic. I hope you do too. I think the garlic was the right timing for that. I don't know if y'all can see that, but it's like, woo, pretty. All right, so now we're gonna do the potato, and again, I didn't bring my peeler, but let's do our due diligence and wash this dog off. And dog, I mean potato. Ta-da! clean potato. So again, I don't have my peeler. We're gonna be doing it this way. All right, so there's a couple little dark pieces in there. That's gonna create really good color. It's time to add water. Getting sweated right. The soup process going. Be stronger than a water bottle. Now I would tell you how much water to add, and I don't really measure a lot of things, as you can probably notice. I'm just kind of a feel cook. I recommend all you become that way too. Just work with recipes that are out there. I'm sure I'll put something out there for you to read and kind of get started, but find your own way, because I like my soups soup. Other people like their soups thick. Some people like a lot of stuff in their soup. I do like it, but I like to change things up. Especially if you're gonna have a sandwich, you might want to dip it in your soup. Doesn't really happen. So this is becoming, as again, homemade vegetable broth, right? And I don't want to go too heavy with the water because I'm going to be adding cream anyway. Just a little bit more water, and a little bit more right there. That should do it. One of my favorite things to use with soups is dehydrated onions. It smells so good whenever you just put some of that on. Or minced onions is another way to call it. Minced dehydrated onions is actually what they are. You can make mainly your broth off of that, and maybe adding some celery seed seasoning, and be good as far as a starting place. Anyway, back to this. Potatoes with a spatula. All right. So I want to do, so if you look, this is how I like to cut my potatoes. I like to cut them like this first, cut them like this, and then cube them. All right, so I got pretty much everything in there. Again, the thing I want to do that's going to be different is a jalapeno, aka a jalapeno. Gloves, we talk about gloves a lot. I just don't want to risk it. So just in case, why not? So I'm gonna cut it open. I definitely don't want any seeds on this one because this is really just for flavor only. So I'm gonna be using heavy whipping cream to add to this. All right, so now that that's getting going, I'm gonna add something very important, especially for minestrones, oregano. The spices, like the green spices, when I'm done with this whole soup, I wanna see them, and the peppers, because kind of in the dark, just the dark things to kind of float around eventually with the cream. Next, I'm gonna put in a bay leaf. Those bay leaves are always good. Oh, it smells so good. I'm just gonna drop one in there. It's not a big amount of soup. Next, I'm gonna add paprika, and the paprika is gonna be giving us some of the red color as well. There you go. You don't want to add smoke, because if you add smoked paprika and oregano together, guess what you have? A southern dish. And that's literally the trick to all southern meals. So remember earlier we added sun-dried tomatoes. I'm gonna be adding more. I'm also gonna be adding some of these to my sandwich later on too. So these are really good in a lot of things. Chop that up, get these ready to go. So I'm going to add angel hair pasta at the end, but I'm considering, I might even just do it now, but. So I'm going to be putting a small amount, or small pieces, really small pieces in here. I might just add it now since I'm going to be cooking those up. All right, let's add more sun-dried tomatoes. It's really going to help with the color, help with the flavors. So I'm using these angel hair by Paprika. He's got a really good orange color going here. It's boiling. So if you're gonna add noodles, you definitely gotta be boiling because they'll get soggy if you just try to simmer noodles in. So I'm not gonna do a lot. It's just a feel. But it's that time. Doing about 1.5 to 2 inch pieces. Okay, so I'm gonna add a little bit more water. Looks like a lot of it's boiling off. It's getting a little thicker, plus we added the noodles. They'll absorb a lot of water. So when you do this, you gotta make sure you check your salt balance. Definitely cooled it off quick. And again, I might just add a little bit more water. When we add the cream, we're gonna be doing it for a kind of a feel. Again, just like everything else I do. It's like this to me feels like it needs to be a little bit more water. The cream is just going to make it like you're adding creamer to your coffee. It's just a personal preference type thing. Oh yeah, that's perfect amount. Here we go. I got a good amount of. You can see on the camera. So I'm going to add the last thing. Is going to again be the jalapenos in a moment. Just making sure that these potatoes are cooking before I add the cream. Because I don't want to have the cream getting super, super hot. It'll cause the bubble a lot and foam. I'm not making a cappuccino here or anything like that. So remember, the reason also I was cutting the potatoes smaller so they cook faster too. All right. It is time to add the cream. This is uncomfortable buying this because I don't buy this very often. This is like literally the second time I've done this in my life. Made a creamy soup. And look, it says heavy whipping cream. Some lady was there, she's like, are you trying to make whipped cream? No. Well, is this the right thing? She says, yeah, just make sure it's not vanilla flavor. Okay, and there it starts to begin to change colors. See all the dark stuff that's now starting to pop, all the orange and the red from the potatoes, the sun-dried tomatoes, carrots, the pepper, the oregano, some of the celery. Okay, and now let's try it. Oh, so good. I think it needs a little bit more cream. There we go. There we go. I want that slightest orange color. It's going to keep changing. I'm going to add a little bit more. Add one more stage of sun-dried tomatoes, sun-dried tomatoes. In here. Oh, this is coming out excellent. All right, here we go. I'm gonna use half of these jalapenos in there. Stir it up. Oh, look at all this cool color. Oh, that smells so good. What a good idea. A little bit more. So I like jalapenos. A little bit more. Okay. It shouldn't be too spicy. They'll cook down because they're being cooked. So again, it's just they hold the actual true pepper flavor that I'm going for, or looking for. Now, of course, because we added cream, I have to add a little more salt. Turn it down to 400 so it doesn't burn the cream. And for the last wave of this for color and flavor. Okay. We'll try. Freaking excellent. Excellente. All right, I'm gonna turn her down. We'll just sit there and simmer. All right, folks, I'm gonna take a break, clean everything up, and start getting ready to prepare for panini sandwiches. Okay, so now we're gonna be moving on to the panini sandwich part. I'm gonna be using a brand new pan by Hexclad. It's this skillet pan. Works with 2 stoves. Obviously, I run with 2 stoves. These New Wave Diamonds I got from Amazon. Turn them on. I'll go to high heat, about 400. I'm gonna put a little spinach on my sandwich. I'm gonna be putting some, oh, you gotta check this out. So I went to the store, I wanted to use sourdough bread. What I found, they didn't have just sourdough in my usual area, so this is what I could find. Guess what? Jalapeno sourdough. I'm very excited about this, hopefully it's good. May or may not be. I'm gonna be putting sun-dried tomatoes, spinach, sharp cheddar, smoked Gouda. I'm gonna be adding some organic olive oil. Be kind of brushing this across the top. I'm gonna be using my spatula for that, but across the top, keep stirring this, of the bread so that it gets that nice, crunchy, beautiful look without burning. I'm gonna be using my Lodge skillet pan with the lines on it. So, since the cheese is already cut for the first part, I just need to cut some of this cheese. Gotta cut the cheese. Bread's already cut. Baby spinach is ready to go. Sun-dried tomatoes are ready to go. Just gotta finish the bacon. Okay, folks, time to do the sandwich portion. I'll make 2 sandwiches. So again, this is, whoa, wow, this is really pretty. This is jalapeno sourdough bread. So I'm gonna have the pieces kind of facing each other. Well, actually opposite from the same. So I got a brush on olive oil to the outside. I'm gonna use this pan, because I think it should cover. I'm gonna have to apply pressure. And we're gonna get going with this. I'm just gonna Open up olive oil. Let's get this pan going. Let's hit start. Put a little bit on my pan, on the corners, just to ensure this thing is not going to be sticking anywhere. These cast iron pans, you really got to treat them right. Treat them right, they treat you right. Those who know, know, and I'm beginning to know. I've always been kind of a non-stick guy for the longest. Put a little bit more in. Put stuff down in there. I know that's on this thing, on the bread itself, but it's really going to be riding on these lines. But I just want to get this down in there just to kind of pre-treat the metal. Okay, so we're going to be doing, remember, bacon. We're going to be doing this. Move this thing over. We're going to, oh, there we go. We're going to be doing these cheddar. I'm going to do them one at a time. So for this, I may use 4 pieces. I also got some Gouda, but I'm not sure if I'm going to use it. Actually, I am going to use it. For a cheese knife over all this. Okay. That one there for the moment. Line it up, line it up. Okay, so we're gonna use 3 pieces of cheddar. Three small pieces of Gouda. Bacon. Lastly, last 2 things. Some spinach. Leaf. This is baby. You can pull the stems off though. It'll look pretty too. Overall, all this is gonna look great. All right, so I think that's nice and heated up. And then lastly, some dried tomatoes. Put about just a couple on here. Flavor, good appearance. All right, we're good to go. Excuse my messy table, but it is my table. All right, put the first one on. We're gonna do it for artistic reasons to the side. Going to sear. Do you like what you see? I know I like what I see. I'm gonna use this as my press. This is always a blast cooking for you guys because I do this in my camping area. Sometimes I'm camping. Sometimes I'm just cooking. But more often than not, I'm usually camping, and this is what I'm going to eat on my trip. Okay, so I've achieved the pressure lines that a panini sandwich deserves. Okay, I think it's ready to go. But go mean flip. Oh yes. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And again, when you're working with this cast iron, you gotta be careful. Absolutely perfect. Cut this on here first. All right, guys, so we're gonna do this. Last one, remember, I'm gonna do 3 pieces. Cheddar, gotta move quick because I'm running out of battery. And I'm hungry. Look at that, look at that. Again, push it down.